Welcome to Build LED, another video regarding the 50 watts multi-chip LED. So what I've decided to do is, this was a test basically I was doing on this heatsink to see everything works fine, the LEDs and everything. So that was the LED. Perfect. Alright. So I'm going to take this LED apart and I'm going to put it on my original setup that I always do. Sorry for that. So this is a heatsink. It comes with a PWM fan at 4 wires, green, black, yellow, and blue. And that comes with this. It goes on top like that. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna use that. I usually take this apart. I'm gonna put this LED. Now I want to show you guys one thing. It's a pretty big LED here. Now, if you see these holes, if I put a screw on this hole, I won't be able to put a screw on this hole. Same thing with that side. Even if I put it on the other way, it's the same thing. So simply what I'm going to do, oh, don't forget to put paste. As you can see, there's a paste here. So you just gotta figure it out. Now there's a little bit, it's not in the center, so I have to turn this a little bit so both things, both screws can fit in the hole. So that's a hole, that's a hole. Put this here. Okay, I'm gonna try to put my camera on there, so you guys can actually watch what I'm really doing. Alright, that looks better. I'm just screwing the LED to the heatsink. That's how it fit in. As you can see, there's a little bit curve, it's not straight. And that's how it's gonna go. Now with this, it comes in 3 parts for the LEDs. The entire kit comes with this LED. I have soldered that already. And then I have this part. It's called a reflector bracket. This is a reflector, and this is a lens. So this reflector bracket has these little grooves that's going to fit into these holes, so it won't move in case if you drop the LEDs or anything like that. Now I always try to clean the lens before I put it in. Alright, so that's, you can see the LEDs here. So this is a lens, this is 90 degrees lens. You don't want to use 60 degrees. If I remove the lens and just put the LED like that, it's going to give me an output of 120 degrees, which we don't want, because you want to maintain the part. Now, same thing with these lenses, with these brackets. So you got to make sure that you put it in a way where everything get matched with the holes, so you don't have to make a special holes or anything. Now the other thing, you probably if you see other video, I haven't seen any videos where people are installing 50 watts or 100 watt LEDs. Now the other way around it is, you put this cover on the top, and then all you simply gotta do, you put the like this, and you put the LED. This is another way to do it, but I want to show you guys something. If you look, there's a gap here, so the light won't reflect. The light will come out from those sides, and I personally don't like that. If I'm using the light, I want to have maximum output of the light, so I'm not going to use that. So this show you guys, it's pretty clear. The lens. Alright, so I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use a reflector. Yeah, you cannot use a reflector. If you're using this, you can't use a reflector. It will not fit in. Let's try to put this. And this looks much better. This, and here we go. I'm just gonna put the camera on the side, and I'm gonna put some screws there. Well, I gotta find if I have longer screws. Let's see here. Inch. Try a 1 inch screw first. I think 1 inch is perfect. Well, I was gonna use 1/8 and 1 inch, but I think that's a little bit skinnier. I'm gonna use 6 by 1 4/4. This is the one. I'll check it. I was gonna use these guys right here, but they fit in, but I don't think it's gonna hold as good as it's gonna hold by these guys right here. Well, I love power tools, but these kind of jobs, better to use old-fashioned tools. Just gonna tidy it with my power tool. See if everything is good. Alright, just show you from the top. This is how it's look. Pretty tight. And so this is exactly how it's look. Let's go ahead and do some wiring. You see this look pretty neat. Well, I was thinking if I could just fit it in somehow, but well, it's not gonna cut it out. So anyhow, we're gonna end up doing wires now. The wiring that we're gonna do is I'm gonna take all the wires out from one end. This. This one also gonna go from here. Okay, I'm just gonna shove it in. From here, I'm just gonna push it in so it will fit in with the wires for the fan. Just gonna look nice and neat. Here. Perfect. Now, what I'm just gonna turn the LED on one more time. I've already connected this LED. So now this is the adapter, just to show you guys one more time. This is the adapter that I'm using. It's already connected. So what I do is the easiest way, because I build the lights all the time, so I have to keep using the driver every single time. Like when I'm building it, I have to check the driver and everything, depending on the LEDs. So I don't want to make a switch every single time. So what I do is I use the speaker outlets and connect this with the wire, and it goes here with the plug. So anytime I'm testing, I need the outlet. These are the wires that comes from the driver and goes here. So I just push it in, put the wire in, and now when you get the kit, the driver actually, it comes with a switch like this. The connector is called an Easy Connect. Well, I call it an Easy Connect. I don't know what's the proper name for it. And what I do is so it basically goes black and red from here and get connected to here. So what I have done is, sorry, I'm just using one hand to do all the work. So it's supposed to go like this. Connect connector. So what I did, I used another speaker connector to test all my lights before I installed them into the fixture. So put that in. And connect that. So once I connect this part, I'm quickly going to show you guys, because the fan is not working. You know what, how about we test the fan first. So I'm going to assume that I have no idea what are these 4 connectors are for, in case if you guys never done with the PWM 4-pin fans. It's to control the speed and all that. So I'm simply going to test the fan. So get a adapter like this if you guys do a lot of electronic works, like a small wattage and stuff. So always better to get adapter like this, a multiple, so 1.5 and all the way up to 12. Connect this, and what I have done, I have cut the wires and connect these to the testing knobs. It's easier for me to, even if the LEDs is not working for some reason, I can individually test every single LEDs with the help of this adapter. If I'm testing more than one, then I can increase the wattage. So simply it has black, so first black to black, just negative, and then I'm going to try to see which one is positive here. Okay, so as you can see, hear the sound. Well, I'll put the fan here. Okay. So yellow and black is the one. Simply what we're going to do is cut this wire. I'll have to use the scissor now. And unless I'm gonna try to play with them a bit. It's black and green and blue and green. Let's twist the ends. I'm going to show you guys one more thing after I play around with the wires now. These 2 wires, we know that this is for the LED, these 2 black and red, which are the thicker wires. I think these are 22 gauge or 24 gauge actually. So let's connect our red with yellow wire, that is positive. And our black with black. Okay, so this is what I want to show you guys. The green wire is, you can connect it with a dimmer. So if you can see, this is for the current. So if I touch this wire with my yellow wire, the speed for the fan will go lower, very low. Let's see what happens if I connect this. So nothing happens if I connect the blue one. Okay. Okay, so we're not gonna use our other wires, blue or green. I got this PC fan failure alarm. This is pretty good actually, because if you're gonna use these kind of LEDs are expensive, especially 50 watts and 100 watts LEDs are very expensive. So, and if the fan stops working, LEDs eventually, like within a matter of day, it's create too much heat, and it's gonna kill your LED. Now, if you notice, you've probably seen a lot of forums that people are using very big heat sinks, and I'm using a very small heat sink. I'll show you guys the thickness of this heat sink, and then before we go over the fan part, then I'm going to show you one more stuff. This is about 1 inch of heat sink that I'm using. Same thing with this one. This is one inch as well. So I'm using this heat sink. This is kind of like a radiator style, but this is actually much more heavier, much more powerful. And then this one is not, it's a normal heat sink. So the reason I'm using a smaller heat sink or this or that, doesn't really matter which heat sink I'm using, because the fan that I'm using is a very powerful fan. The whole point of using a heat sink to make sure that your LED don't get heat up is always needs to be cool. And it doesn't matter how you do it. If you do it through the heat sink or you do a small heat sink and put a very powerful fan, as long as you somehow you keep the LED cool and doesn't get heat up, your LED will last long. Alright, it's the same thing. The 50 watts for 100 watts, I use the same heat sink. So I'm going to show you guys without the heat sink how the light heat sink will look like. So I have this. You can see the amount of heat sink. It's a huge heat sink. Actually, let me show you guys. This is my 100 watts. This is for like bigger, very, very huge tanks. These are very bright LEDs. Oops. So if you guys notice, it's about 5 inch by 6 inch heat sink. You can see the huge heat sink. Now this one doesn't need fan, because the amount of heat sink that's in the light will not get heat up. Well, I just wanted to show you guys if you don't use the fan, how big of a difference it makes to keep the LED cool all the time. So anyways, back to our project. So this is our fan failure alarm, and this is what I call PC fan failure alarm with TX3 connectors, so 3-pin connectors. So I'm going to show you guys how exactly it works. So it has 3 pins connector, male and female. So from my previous fans, I've already have cut out of male and female. So I'm just going to use this to show you guys how exactly it works. So if you had a fan, it's probably going to work like in the same manner that I'm going to connect it, or the way I'm connecting the connectors. Suppose, well, yeah, you guys actually, I cut it out, threw it away now. It was the same kind of connector. It just it had 4 pins, and this one had 3 pins. Now the alarm has 3 pins, so I have to use a connector that has 3 pins into it, or I have to cut the connector and solder the wires together. Well, I'm just joining the wires together just to test it. So I probably have black. I'm gonna make sure they don't get. So I have black wire and the red wire. Here's the beep. So what I have right now is this beeper. The fan is working. Now what I'm going to do is I have this wire which is connected, fan wire, connected with the alarm. I'm just going to remove the wire. Oh, that was loud. So that's the beep. It shows you how exactly it works. So same thing, you connect yellow wires with the red one from this fan. So yellow with red and gray one, well, black with black. Now a lot of people will not have this connector lying around at home, so the easiest and simple way to do it, you take this part of the connector where you can see the actual pins, cut it out, red connect with yellow for this fan, and the black one connect with the black one, and the yellow you can leave it the way it is. You can cut it out, you're not going to using that. Then I had a different type of fans too. I wanted to show you guys. This one already have 3 pins once, so you don't need to, you can just plug it in and boom, it's ready to go. Now when you buy the the entire kit from me, it actually comes with a syringe like this. This is a paste, thermal paste in there. So you don't need to buy thermal paste separately because sometimes it's hard to find depending on where you live. Now, I'm just doing this project, so I'm not going to be using my fan alarm. I just wanted to demonstrate to you guys in case if you guys want to buy it. They're about $7 a piece. Well, I found only one company that actually sells that. Alright, so let's go ahead and connect our fans the way it was before, so black with black. Black and yellow with red. In case if the fan goes off, you can turn off the LED and you can just quickly go and buy a new fan. Now it doesn't really matter, you have to have a round fan. You can put any kind of fan in case if your fan is gone and you're looking for a fan and you can't find a round one, then you can always get a regular fan or square fans like these kind of fans right here, and they can pretty much fit in as well. You can see that. So make sure you get a powerful fan. Now I'm gonna just plug in this LED onto my, the connector I have. So red and actually, let me put it this way because I want you guys to see exactly how bright it is. Woo! This is a very powerful light. that. I'm thinking to getting one of the light meters. Actually, I'm going to demonstrate the same way that I did on my last video. Turn the LED. See if you guys can actually see it through the lens. Yeah. Oh, there we go. You can see small LEDs there. They have the image is zooming in there. Well, anyway, so let's put this box. So what I figured out. This box is pure white, and you can see the shade of the LED. There, it's more like a tinic look to it. And you can see the variation of colors, red, UVs. So I'm going to do one more technique here to see if you guys can actually see the color. So magnifying glass. You can see the color pattern there, the way the colors are in this LED. Let me try one more. Okay. Now let's see here. Let me try a different way here. See the variations are different, all different colors. So then you can see how the colors are getting mixed, and then further I go, all blending together. So it basically tells you how high you want the lights, 10 inches. It's a little demonstration. So I'm going to be putting it in like this.